This video is for the train engine, the wheel. You're going to want to get a new standard inch part. Start your 2D sketch and choose the XZ plane. You want to make sure that you're orientated in this direction for things to work out. You'll see in a little bit, but you want it so that it's like this, 90-degree angle. You can adjust using these arrows. We are going to sketch a rectangle, and we want that to be a dimension of 0.25, and then here 1 inch. If you don't tab and get a chance to put in the 1 inch, you can come up here. You can put in whatever dimensions you want. You can just hit enter, but you can come up here, hit the dimension key, click on your line, and then tell it that you want it to be 1 inch, and it'll adjust it for you. We're going to go ahead and grab the circle. We want a circle here on the midpoint, and you're going to extend it until you see the tangent symbol pop up. So if you take a look by my cursor, above it and slightly to the left, you're going to see the tangent symbol pop up. Once you have that, you're good. You can go ahead and click, and you're going to grab rectangle again. We want to put a rectangle in here. We will dimension everything later, so I just went ahead and threw in that rectangle really quickly. We're going to go ahead and trim the inside circle here and this line. This line, if you go ahead and click on it, it's going to yell at you. It's fine, we can leave it in. Just go ahead and hit cancel. We want to get rid of that line as well, and this is what you should be left with. Go ahead and hit the dimension key, because now we are going to actually dimension this portion here. From this line to this line, it has a height of 0.125. From here to this line, its dimension is 0.75, so 3/4 of an inch. And then from here to here should be 1/4 of an inch, so 0.25. All right, next thing that we want to do is go ahead and add some fillets. Those fillets should be 0.0625, and we want one to be right here. Okay, see how that green line just sort of popped up? We want one there. We want one here, and one there. Oops. Oh, I just lost it. There you go. And then one here. Ugh. There we go. All right, you can go ahead and finish the sketch. And now we're going to revolve it. You have to select the profile and then click on the axis and choose the axis. That'll be the axis of rotation right here. So you're going to click on it, and now you have the main portion of the wheel. We want to go ahead and do some work on the back. So flip to the back and start a new sketch. We're going to start off with 2 random lines. And then a construction line. The construction line should also be coming off the midpoint and going straight across the horizon. We're going to dimension this line to this line at 15 degrees. And then on this line to this line, it should be 30 degrees. All right. Now we're going to put in 2 random circles from the midpoint. And I forgot to take off my construction line. So go ahead and undo. Take off that construction line, hit the circle, and 2 random circles that we will dimension at a later time. All right. We are now ready to dimension them. My biggest circle is going to have a radius of 0.625, but we need the diameter, so we're going to multiply it by 2. The smaller circle should be 0.375 times 2. Okay. And now we're going to trim a bunch of material, because all we really want is this section in here So we're going to take out the big circle, most of the small circle, this line here, there, and there. So you should really be left with just this. Go ahead and finish the sketch, and we are going to extrude. We want to cut it, and we want to cut it all. And hit OK. You're going to choose a circular pattern, and here already highlighted is the features. So the feature we want is this pattern. And then we are going to choose our rotational axis, which is this. And once we do that, it's going to ask how many you want placed. And we want 6, and mine's already highlighted at 6. If yours is not, just go ahead and change it. And then say OK. And now we have all of that cut out. We're going to flip to the front because we've got some work to do on the front. Oops. There we go. And we want to make a hole right there. So we're actually going to hit the hole feature. We're going to go to concentric. We want that hole to be there. Notice how it's off. Okay, so we're going to choose a concentric reference, another circle, and it will center it on there. We want it to go through all, and we want it to have a diameter of 0.28. So I'm going to say OK, and that is it. Not for the part. Not it for the part. Don't celebrate yet. All right, the next thing that we're going to do is that peg. So we want to do a new sketch on this face, and now because of the way we had orientated it, we've got some wheel material to actually work with. Had you left it so that the orientation was straight up and down, then you'd have one of these cutout features sitting right here, so that could be an issue. If that happens to you, call me over and I can help. All right, we are going to go ahead and draw a circle on our horizon. We're going to dimension it from the origin to the midpoint. It should be 0.7 inches. We want the radius, sorry, not the radius, but we want the diameter of that circle to be 1/4 of an inch, so 0.25. You're going to finish the sketch, and we're going to extrude it, but not that much, 0.375. All right, the final part here is doing a new sketch on that face. We want to project the geometry of that circle. And we're going to go ahead and do a new circle on there, and we want it to be 0.125. No idea what just happened. There we go, 0.125. We're going to finish that sketch, and we are going to extrude that circle. By the way, if this doesn't automatically extrude, you might have to just hover your mouse over that portion so that it's highlighted and then click on it. But we want to extrude that 0.125. We're going to say OK. And then we are going to come over here and we are going to make a concentric hole on that face. So we're going to come up here. We're going to choose hole. We're going to choose concentric. We're going to go ahead and click on that plane. We don't want it to be that big. The diameter should be 0.0625. There we go. Okay, 0.0625. We don't want it to go through all, we want it to be a distance. The depth here is 1/4 of an inch, so 0.25. And then we need to choose a concentric reference so that it knows where it should put itself in the center of. So I'm going to try to choose that edge. There we go. I'm going to choose that edge, or you can choose this edge, because they're all built symmetrically. Go ahead and hit OK. And that is it for your wheel. So you're going to go ahead and save as your train engine with your initials _ wheel.